Okay, we are running super late, but we're about to go to my 20-week appointment. It's not my anatomy scan. My anatomy scan is next week, but we're going to my 20-week OB appointment, and this is one of the doctors I haven't seen before because it's a fairly big practice, so they want you to at least see each doctor before you deliver, but I'm 20 weeks today. I'm wearing my coat, so you can't really see the bump as much. I feel like my coat makes me look smaller. But I'll talk about it more later, but I felt her for the first time at like 17 weeks and 6 days. And then now I'm 20 weeks. And then all of 18 weeks, I was able to feel her like pretty much like a good amount every day. At 19 weeks, she just kind of like stopped moving. Not completely, but little movements. And everything I read online was like, you're not 28 weeks yet, you're not in your third trimester, that's normal. If you're really concerned and it's actually been like a week since you've even felt her move, call the doctor. But I was feeling little movements every day, but not as strong as the week before, and I thought they would progress as time went on. Well, last night, after over a week of worrying about her, she was going crazy, like kicking, swirling, everything. And then this morning, same thing, she'd just been moving so much. And now when I press down on my like lower stomach where she is, if I press down hard, like not hard, but if I press down on her, she'll like poke me back because I guess she's like, hey, like let me have my room. That's a side note. We're running late. Zach went to go take the dog out for pee, and then we're gonna go to my 20-week appointment. We haven't seen her since 11 weeks and 6 days. So we haven't seen her in like 8 weeks and a day. So I really want to see her, and I'm hoping we can. We will see her next week at the anatomy scan, but I really hope we get to see her today because after worrying for a week, I just want to be able to like see her again. They said I would have to get my blood work done today, that's fine. And I'm really hoping we get to see her. But anyway, we have to go, and yeah. It is like 7 hours later, honestly. We had such a hectic day, but the least hectic part of it, which it was still hectic, was our appointment. It went well. Baby is doing just fine. As suspected, we did not get an ultrasound today. We have our anatomy scan scheduled for next Thursday, so a week from tomorrow. And obviously anatomy scans are pretty long and they do like a lot of pictures, so we're gonna get a ton of pictures and they'll fully get to check on her and make sure everything is developing as it should. And if you know how the 20-week appointment goes, you know how it goes. So yeah, I'm excited for that because pretty much like when you get the clear bill of health for the most part, of course things happen and things develop past that point. But if everything's okay at the 20-week, it'll most likely continue to be okay. But anyway, first of all, we got to the appointment. We'll probably never be back to this campus. They wanted me to see every OB in case I deliver with that OB, and there's a few in that practice, like I said earlier. But we get there and they're like, oh yeah, this OB doesn't deliver anymore, so it doesn't really matter you guys seeing him. But so the receptionist that was insistent on us seeing every doctor gave us an appointment with someone who doesn't even deliver anymore. Then when we were making our appointments because you can have 2 appointments scheduled at a time. So our next appointment scheduled for our 24 weeks, and then we scheduled for our 28 weeks, and which I can't believe we're already scheduling for 28 weeks. Like what? And I was like, oh, like, the campus is closer to us. And she was like, okay. And she was like, I was like, do you feel like we need to see every doctor? And she was like, no. And I was like, the other lady was so insistent, which is why we came here, and the guy doesn't even deliver anymore, so it didn't even matter. But it was 43 minutes from our house, and then the other one is 20 minutes from our house. So it's like, why? Like, we just went out all of this way because one of the office members in one of the offices thinks that it's important for us to see every doctor, even the guy doesn't even deliver. So that's annoying. But anyway, They did the pee test, they took my pee. After the appointment, they took my blood just for like a normal blood draw. And then they weighed me and did my blood pressure, which it's like we've never been to this campus, and I didn't know what building we were supposed to go in. So we were literally like, there were 3 buildings. We went to 2 first before we found which one we were supposed to go to. So I was out of breath and we were running all over the place. And then we get up to the 2nd floor where the appointment is. And then they say, oh, you need to check in downstairs. So they send us back downstairs to check in, and then we come back upstairs. So then by the time I was seated and they were doing my blood pressure, they were like, yeah, it's a little high. I was like, if my blood pressure's high, I know why. You know, we were running around the campus and you sent us up and down the stairs, even though we took the elevator, but still. And she was like, oh yeah, you know, it's 140 over whatever. So it is a little high. But I was like, but they didn't seem concerned because I was actually still out of breath. So they were like, we know it's just from you all having to walk around and being active. But anyway, it went well. The doctor put the Doppler on. It was just like a normal like heartbeat Doppler, and he listened to her heartbeat, and he was like, it's a strong heartbeat. Like, that's what I like to hear. So of course I'm happy to hear that as well. And then, even though it stinks we didn't get to see her today, at least we got to get her checked on, got to hear her heartbeat. But I always saw online, and I don't know if I just am remembering things incorrectly, that the glucose test is at 28 weeks. They're having me do my glucose test at my 24-week appointment. So at my next normal OB appointment, they're having me do the glucose test. So I go at 1:30, get my blood drawn, drink the drink, and then I have my normal appointment, and then at 2:30 I come back, and then they test my blood. So I'm nervous for that because they accidentally messed up and almost like had me do the glucose test today. And I was like, aren't I a little early for that? And they were like, oh, your OB put in the order wrong. Like, you'll just do a regular blood draw today. But the one they had sitting out for me was the orange flavor, which some people have said it's good, some people have said it's bad, but you're just gonna kind of be presented with whatever bottle you get. I don't think that my office, my provider, gives me a choice. Which being said, I had some comments on my first video saying like, you need to stop going to that office. Like, if you had a rude experience, like, they're not gonna take you seriously. I switched offices, but it's the same like medical group. And I'm realizing, and I thought this is what I want, and like, from the beginning, I was like, I don't want to be in a medical group, like a huge medical group for my OB. Like, I want to switch to a smaller office. And with just everything going on in life, I just never switched. So I'm just going to stick with them for the rest of this pregnancy, even though because it's multiple offices and every office has like a different way of doing things, the care feels a little bit haphazard, which if I'm not, and like scattered. So if I don't have it right in my brain what's supposed to happen, it's not gonna happen that way. I don't know. I'm definitely not gonna do this for my second pregnancy. Hopefully I won't be moving at the same time of finding out I'm pregnant for my second pregnancy, but I do kind of wish I switched to a different entire practice and not just switched offices. But honestly, it is what it is now. I'm halfway done as of today, so I'm just gonna kind of like let it ride out. But yeah, so my next appointment, my 24 weeks, is gonna be my glucose test. So say a prayer for me because I'm nervous about that. But yeah, I wish I had like more exciting things for this video, but I don't. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.